Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome and welcome back to Soap Floor, the official gathering place for newbies, novices, and OG diehard fans of the golden age of primetime. I'm your host, Jock Ewing, and reviewing the soapiest, suziest primetime storyline of 1981. We're back in Dallas to bring this on home. So whether you're new to this or true to this, sit back and enjoy. Tell the kids it's time to play outside or out of sight. Tell babe no questions, suggestions, or concerns for the next 25 to 35 minutes. Everyone else in earshot, cool, quiet, or kicked out are your only options because we are watching our stories. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Soap Floor. Hello, gorgeous. Miss me? I hope so, Miss y'all. Hope your day is shaping up well. Mine is not bad, not half bad. It has the nerve to not be a triple digit today. I'm on 10. That to me is, man, you can't buy that kind of joy. I'm going to challenge myself since we are rolling into the third episode of Dallas. I want to see if I can condense this one down, get the main points, and see if I can actually do it in under 25 minutes. Ugh. Y'all want to take that bet? I know they say to bet on yourself, but I don't know if I would. But on this case, I think I might be able to do it. Ewing versus Ewing brings it all home in the best possible way. So go ahead and pour yourself up something bubbly and bright as we jump into Season 4, Episode 20, Dallas, Ewing versus Ewing. Maybe I ought to say 35 minutes. Let's try 30. There is a song that was very popular when I was, I don't remember. Oh God, I don't know if that came out in the 99s or the 2000s, somewhere around there. It is by a man we no longer speak of. Turns out he had a terrible past, was doing very awful things allegedly. But the phrase goes a little something like, if a woman is fed up. I didn't really understood what that meant. And I should probably look that up because I'm not even sure if he sings that. I'm sure there's 99 different reiterations of that same song in R&B music and country music for sure. But when a woman knows she's done for real, for real. Imagine that woman is a matriarch who's been married to the same man 45 years. You can imagine her reaction when she wakes up one morning and she's like, you know what? I'm done. It's going to be different than it would have been if she was 20. Maybe there would have been some hooping and hollering and carrying on. But in her 60s, why would I do a fool thing like that? Ellie Ewing is fed up. Ellie Ewing has had a wonderful night's sleep. She's got somebody to drive her into Dallas. It is her new pseudo daughter-in-law, Donna. Donna, I'm getting a divorce. Take me down to Lincoln. Lincoln is her lawyer. Donna's like, hey, don't you think you're taking it too far? I've not taken it far enough. Take me to see my lawyer, Donna. She is as cool and as calm and collected as anyone has ever been, ever. It's as if she's going to the farmer's market versus to the divorce lawyer. So Lincoln happens to be a guy who's known she and Jock forever. He don't want to hear that. He's like, hey. You guys have been married 40 years? She says 45. I'd like a divorce now, please. But Ellie, surely you guys can work that out. Lincoln, I'd like a divorce now, please. She puts the emphasis on different syllables so that he can understand. She says she's done. Hand me this divorce. He goes, but think about all that you've built. She goes, oh, that empire? To hell with it. That cost me love, and it cost me my family. To hell with that whole thing. Give me my divorce. Lincoln, I'm kind of tired of repeating myself, baby. So if you don't give me my divorce, somebody else will. Lincoln feels away. He's an old friend. Listen, Ellie, I understand. I just got to think about it a little bit. Lincoln promptly gets in his automobile and drives down to Ewing Oil and tells JR, hey, your mom and daddy came to see me about a divorce. You think you can talk to them? We can't let this happen. Surely they can work it out. Surely. JR's like, I understand. I understand completely. As soon as the man leaves, he immediately gets on the phone, calls up his friend Jeremy and is like, hey, you better get that sale rolling ASAP. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Everyone is focused. But Donna seems to be rocked the most out of all this. She cannot believe this is all happening. Even after Ellie explained, hey, this ain't about the swamp thing. This is so much bigger than a swamp. This man has robbed me of 45 years of my life. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Bobby goes to talk to Jock in his hotel motel holiday. Actually, no, this is a hotel suite. I will not disrespect it in any other way. Bobby's like, Daddy, please, please think about this. Jock ain't trying to hear that. All Jock wants to know is, Bobby, how soon are you going to vote in favor of me? And Bobby's like, you can't possibly think I could vote against either one of you. This is very difficult. You understand that, right? Jock says, I understand I'm your daddy, and I know whose son you are, so I know who you better pick, as if Ellie's not his mother. Bobby's kind of tired of this. Bobby seems like a very exhausted kindergarten teacher who would really, really like to go home and watch this episode of Jeopardy that he has recorded. He hasn't seen it all week. His kid's been ripping and running, running and ripping. He just wants to go home. So he's like, Daddy, if I can come up with a solution, would you be okay? Would you just chill? Would you take it? And Jock's like, well, I mean, yeah. So he's clearly done that. He's got way more huffle puffle. I left out a little bit, but it's not super important. Jock is way louder and more boisterous about leaving Ellie. If he got a divorce her, so be it. I ain't selling out my friends. I'll take the divorce. I'll take the divorce. And she's like, okay, cool. I want a divorce. He's clearly going to flip out because she don't give a damn about the money. Okay, so you remember on the last episode, Cliff had that friend he ran into? Friend's name is David. David, Cliff's homeboy, is working with Jeremy the banker. So Jeremy calls David back down to his office and he tells him he wants him to work with JR. Now, David's like, well, why? Like, why should I? Not in a disrespectful way. He seems just very, this is his everyday life. Information is just information. Doesn't seem to be malicious. He's just kind of living life. Jeremy, the guy, the banker guy, is like, well, you know as well as I know, he's a little bit nervous about whatever happened in Southeast Asia. So let's just keep an eye on that. But I want you to cooperate with him. Anything Cliff tells you, you tell JR, but make sure you tell me first, especially if it's really juicy. I want to know before JR. They're all but certain that he's the one who backed the revolution. So on the other side of town, JR is gathering all the fund information on Ewing Oil. He wants to know how much their assets are worth, how much is everything worth, excluding South Fork. Yeah, please leave that alone, because last time he almost effed that up. Eventually, David, whose last name was Stratton, shows up to JR's office. JR already knows what's up. He knows that blonde banker Jeremy sent him over there. He already knows that he's going to be feeding him information as well. He's like, cool, do what you got to do since everybody knows what's up. I need you to get as much information from Cliff as possible. And the dude's like, well, like what kind of information? I just need you to tell me what he knows about me. That's JR. Tell me what he knows about me and bring that information back to me. That's all you got to do. David's like, okay, cool. But I mean, this is a mutual relationship. He's probably going to want some information. And JR's like, baby, nobody's better at BS than me. I can feed you all sorts of BS information about me to feed to him. It is what it is. But just keep an eye on him. So, understandably, this David guy could be in a really tough position, but it seems like he's not really playing anybody. He's just telling the tea that he does know. So Ellie gets home and she's like, oh, hey, Pam, nice Jerry curl. Listen, I'm completely through with Jock. Jock and I have seared our marriage vows, and to the curbeth he shalt be kicked. Donna's just like, wow, Miss Ellie, wow, I can't believe this is happening. Ellie walks off, she's minding her business, living her best life. Pam was like, dang, people are 175 years old. I can't even imagine them not being married. And Sue Ellen's like, I can't believe they lasted this long, quite honestly. Donna has a nerve to be upset. So this could be called Ewing versus Ewing versus Ewing versus Ewing, or versus Krebs. Donna is new to this. She ain't true to this. Sue Ellen has been to hell and back 14 different times. She's on the verge of being dumped this episode. She don't even know it yet. But she knows what it is. As Ellie tried to break it down for Donna the night previous, girl, being married to these Ewing fools is not for the faint of heart. I've had my share. You do what you do. Good luck to you and Ray Krebs. Sue Ellen says pretty much the same thing, like, listen, that's real cute. I know you've been married all of 14 minutes, but when I tell you this ain't for the faint of heart, good for Miss Ellie. Sure hope she gets a good settlement out of all this. Pam's just like, damn, that's crazy. Let me go fluff my hair. So Ellen is living that different life. Not only is she out playing tennis with Clint in broad daylight, he is bold enough to take her to his, I guess, data center. I don't know what you would call it. It's a room. He shows her his operation basically and explains to her, how much information a little computer chip can hold, and he would give all that up just to be with her. It's time that she made him, or he made her, his wife. And she once again is like, hey, it's kind of a bad timing, you know what I mean? I don't really think we should be doing all that. It's not the best idea, but he's had enough. He's flipping. He didn't flip out, but he does get upset. He's loud in front of all of his employees. He's like, listen, he's starting to feel a little cheap. I want you to be my wife. I don't have mistresses. I need a wife. A room full of engineers. And Swellen's like, I'm sorry, I can't. He's like, you know what? Then call me when you can. I don't do side. I'm not a side dude. Starting to feel a little bit dirty. And you know who else isn't a side dude or broad? Miss Leslie. Leslie has found herself a killer office. Back at JR's place, or his office rather. She has a blueprint for this amazing office downtown with this perfect view of downtown Dallas. It's got a bar, it's got a kitchen, it even has a bedroom in case you want to stay over and sleep after work. It's amazing. She's just going on and on about how fantastic it is. And JR's like, yeah, I told you I'd take care of you, right? You see? Oh, yes, JR, I see. It's wonderful. This is all a ploy to keep him on the hook. He is getting excited by watching her excitement. He has provided her with something. She's suddenly showing more emotion than she's ever shown before. In order to keep him on the hook, too, he's like, well, this whole thing with my dad and my mom, I just don't know what's going to happen. She goes, oh, don't worry, JR. Maybe I'll just keep a small office. Maybe I don't need all this space. He insists that she keep this space because he wants her. He wants her so badly. She leans in and she kisses him, almost as if she wasn't really thinking about it. She then draws back and goes to turn, but it's as if, oh my God, that was magnetic. I am compelled to kiss you again. And she does this. This is all feeding into his ego. This is all part of her super secret, perfectly executed and laid out plan. We know this because later on in her apartment, her ex-husband comes by, Craig. We've seen Craig a couple times. Now he's like, girl, you really think you're going to marry J.R. Ewing? You really want to do that? She's like, I mean, yeah, he can afford me all sorts of things. Plus, being adjacent to his name is a very powerful move for me. I think I'm going to do quite well. Craig says, well, do you love him? She's like, oh my God, grow up. What am I, 12? No, I don't love him. He has resources. I am resourceful. This is a match made in money making heaven, and I'm definitely going to take up the opportunity if it presents itself. So they finish off their little cocktails, and he gets up to leave, but he starts looking around, kind of tongue in cheek, like she says, "What are you doing, Craig? Just making sure I'm not recorded." She cackles, like, "Boy, I stopped recording you the day our divorce was done. Don't even worry about it. Mwah. I'll see you later, baby." Love her focus. Someone who's a little less focused is Cliff. Now, he is hitting the sauce more than normal lately, turning into Digger Barnes just a little bit. You can kind of see how that's starting to have a trickle down effect on him. You lose something to the Ewings, you wash your sorrows away with a little beverage. So he's back at a lunch place. He's back with the twins or the girls he was with when David was with them. And they're chittering. He stands up to leave. While he looks over, he sees J.G. Wentworth and his sister. He's like, oh, I don't like that at all. He thinks that this woman, Rebecca, or he doesn't know her first name, he thinks Burke is running a con. She's trying to get one over on his little sister, and he's not going to stand for it. Go ahead and enjoy your little lunch. I'm going to talk to you later about this, Pam. So he ends up going to Pam's job a little later on to talk to her, basically to confront her. Not confront her, but to talk to her and say, listen, I saw you at lunch with that weirdo woman. Do you know that same woman came to my office the other day, basically trying to shake me down? Pam's looking at him sideways like, she asked you for money. Really? You for money? Listen, not everybody's a Ewing. Not everybody has a cushy little job at the store. But by his estimation, yes, she was clearly selling wolf tickets. She came in there talking about she's my dead mama's friend and that my mama wants to meet me, blah, blah, blah. She clearly just wants the money, and she saw you and did the same thing. Clearly. Makes sense to me. Pam is insulted. How dare you? Had you just given that weirdo woman who burst into your office telling you a tall tale, if you just given her half a second, she would have told you that was your mother. She was your mother. And he's just like, oh, gulp. He looks a little drunk there, if I'm being honest. Later on, he goes back to the same club where Afton likes to sing. She's still singing up a storm, doing pretty well, but he's there with David this time, and they're having this quick exchange. David's like, "Hey, why are you so curious about this?" Cliff says, "Well, I mean, it's just I'm very interested in anything the Ewings do, but I'm just trying to put together this Hank Jones or Hank Johnson portion of it. He doesn't make sense. You said that he was there. There were no shots fired. You think an American is funding this? Plus, he's disappeared off the face of the earth. If I could somehow tie that together, I just want it to make sense. That's all." He didn't really gain any new information, but I mean, I hope Dave was being paid for this. Otherwise, it's kind of a moot point. Let's get to the show. Ellie has already decided that it is time for a divorce, so the day of the hearing is inconsequential to her. She'll either walk out with Swamp Thing Lake as a preserve for the state of Texas, or she won't. She'll either have to give her baby boy the side eye, or she won't. Poor Bobby. So when we get to the court, we see Ellie, and she's there with the Daughters of the Alamo, and he's there with the slightly dusted but never busted Billionaire Boys Club of North Texas, or the SDBBBCNTX for short. We got Punk Anderson with the bolos, Jock with the great big Texas energy. Everybody's there to see what's going to happen. Now, Bobby doesn't really want to go up with it before he sort of interrupts the system, says, "Hey, can I just show you all something really quick?" One of the councilmen, I feel like he just don't like Bobby. He objects, but the other ones are like, "Fine, do what you need to do." Bobby has had time. He's had time to print out a ginormous map. He's had time to do a little research. He had his secretary, who actually does her job. I'm still sweet on him, I guess, but she seemed to have let that go for the time being. They have printed out a map. On this map, you see Lake Tashaka, Swamp Lake, and varying surrounding towns. You see a portion of the lake that Jock wants. You see another portion of the lake that has been sort of parceled out. Bobby announces to the court, "Hi, I'm Bobby Ewing, and I just purchased this sort of central piece of real estate right on Lake Swamp Thing. As you can see, it is very comparable to the piece of land that the slightly dusty but never busted Billionaire Boys Club of North Texas desires. It is also very similar in size and range to what the Daughters of the Alamo want to preserve. Since I, Bobby, have purchased this here land, I would like to offer to sell it to, hold on, I'm getting mixed up. I would like to donate my portion of land to the state of Texas as a national wildlife preserve. The other portion will remain in the geriatric hands of the slightly dusted but never busted Billionaires Boys Clubs of North Texas. And everybody wins. It's a win-win situation. One of the councilmen starts hating. "Oh, so you'll get a big fat tax write-off." Bobby's like, "And will, and did, and..." Everyone else on the council's like, "I mean, this makes a lot of sense. It's going to save us like 3 hours in court. Is everybody cool with this?" The Dusty Billionaire Boys Club are like, "Yeah, we like it. Sounds pretty good to us. Sure." Ellie and the DOA are like, "You know what? We can live with it. Sounds fantastic. You got yourself a deal." Bobby basically had to be a kindergarten teacher in front of his new people at work. His mom and dad came in there embarrassing them over swampland. So once it's all said and done, Jock is walking around like stuff is sweet. He's smirking. "I'm sure glad that's behind us, Miss Ellie." She looks him up and down and up. Only thing is done and over with is his hearing. Dun, dun, dun. She actually should have been like, that's not the only thing that's done and over with. But it doesn't matter because Ellie has a presence. She looked him up and down like he was small, and then she left. So by the time Bobby gets home later that night via a cab, Pam is waiting patiently outside. She's drinking a drink. She's prepared to cuss him out. So he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, baby, don't hey, baby me. I can't believe you." He's like, "What? I can't believe you voted against your mother like that." And he explains, "I didn't. I actually had a pretty good idea. I just bought another piece of land that looked like it, gave it to the state of Texas, and now it's a preserve. Daddy gets to build his stuff. Mama gets hers." She's like, "Oh, I mean, okay, well, dang, your mom kind of went off on me when I asked her about it, so I assumed you voted against her. She's super pissed. Like, she won't even come down for dinner. And he's just like, dang, I had a bad feeling about it at court, but I didn't want to say nothing then. I just wanted to avoid everybody and come home. Let's go back to the bar real quick. Once David leaves, Cliff is minding his own business when Afton takes a break from her singing gig. She comes and sits beside him. She's like, God, dude, you look so familiar. Do I know you? He's like, I don't think so. No, 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 I know you. I know you. You're Pam's brother. Yes, yes, I'm Pam's brother. She goes, well, hi, I am Mitch's sister. I am basically Lucy's new sister-in-law. He goes, oh my God, hey, how are you? How's everything going? It's going great. The Ewings have been real good to me. And he's like, oh, really? He's already drunk. His defenses are down. She's like, yeah, especially JR. He goes, well, do you know, pray tell? Well, he got me this singing gig here. What Cliff hears is what the audience already knows. When you say, oh, JR has been especially nice to me, he hooked me up with his job, you just told Cliff two very, very obvious things. Number one, you banged JR, and number two, you're probably kind of easy. So he gets this big smirk on his face like, well, I don't mind if I diddly do. Okay, now that the whole hearing is done, there's nothing left to it but to do it, or so Jock thought. He thought he was going to move back home. He still finds himself sleeping in Dallas at his own choice. Ellie meant exactly what she said. JR already has a ball rolling with this West Star. I need to make a correction. Jeremy is not from the bank. Jeremy is from West Star. I'd forgotten they were going to have a little bit of a deal with Bobby, but that didn't work out. So JR gets on the phone. He's like, Daddy, is everything okay? We were waiting for you and Mama to come down for dinner. You didn't come home. Mama didn't come back. Is everything okay? Do you think you guys are going to divorce? And he's like, yeah, it kind of looks like that. So JR goes, well, then you and I need to have a conversation sooner rather than later. I've already reached out to West Star. I got some paperwork here that you might want to see. Well, right about this time, this is all over the phone, by the way. Ray comes into Jock's room and he's explaining, oh my God, Jock, I totally forgot the Swamp Thing maps. We need to go back to my house to get them. So Jock's like, oh, okay, JR, listen, I don't have time to do that today. We'll have to do it another time. JR's like, no, we really need to get this going. So Jock ends up hanging up while JR is like, crap. Yeah, well, I guess the deal's still going through. They just need Jock's signature and it'll be a done deal. Ray ends up taking Jock to his home that does remind me of a log cabin on Little House on the Prairie because everything's brown and it's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's a whole thing. And he slowly looks through his paperwork. He cannot locate this map. Now, why they didn't just take Bobby's map, why he's the only person holding the map, I'm sure I don't know. Only I do know because a few seconds later, in walks Donna and Miss Ellie. They've been ambushed. This is all a clever, clever scheme to get the Ewings back together. I love the fact that it's not their children together that want them together. It's Ray and his new wife. Nobody else really cares. All right. Well, then it begins. Ray, God bless him. This is where I disagree with Ellie so much because she has been giving him the short end of the stick all of a sudden. Ray starts giving her this long spiel about, Miss Ellie, when I found out that I was Jock's son and you found out, I felt so good because you accepted me right away. You took me and you said you were happy to have me. And for me, that was pretty much the best thing that could have ever happened. Never wanted to hurt you. But then I started to notice right around Lucy's wedding when Gary said that since I was a Ewing, he didn't really need to come back. You've been acting kind of funny towards me. Listen, she was like, I don't want to hear it, Ray. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. But she won't leave. He's like, you just got to hear me out. This is starting to get on Jock's nerve too, because I guess he's starting to put it together like, you really do need to calm down and listen. So Ray says, I never want you to feel like I'm trying to replace your son. That's not at all what I want. I don't want any of that. Matter of fact, I've had some paperwork drawn up. My lawyer was kind enough to work this up for me last night. He basically removes himself from any inheritance. He won't get anything from Ewing Oil. He won't get anything at South Fork. He just wants to be removed from it. And he says, listen, I would rather do this, move away from here, than to watch you and your husband split up. Now, this seems very, very noble and just always so pure of heart, which he is, but also back to my original sentiment about adults and children. I don't care if the child, quote unquote, is 35 or 40 years old, you're still the adult in the situation. And it seems like she's had a great relationship with this kid this whole time. He's never done well, except Lucy. Never done anything else to you. Well, something about seeing him hand over this document that he went through the trouble of getting notarized and all that, handing it over to her to give away his inheritance. It's like it douses whatever flame she had in her mind. She suddenly is snapped back to her senses. Oh, and I gotta say, I really, 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 really love it when Ellie has a stage. I love it when she has her moments. I love it when they kind of focus in on her. You're never going to be disappointed. The acting is acting. God, she would be great on another show too. She doesn't really say a lot. And I hate that. I feel like a lot of times when she's with Jock, she's kind of reduced into being his caretaker, his sort of stern but loving wife. But in this, you get to see her go through the emotions, allow herself to be pissed off, allow herself to be somewhat irrationally pissed off. I understand where she's coming from. I can imagine how it would feel to be waiting for your kid all this time. You get so close, but he don't want to be there. But now there's a whole new kid who you have to watch do all the things. The funny thing is, that used to give her comfort. You can tell it used to comfort her so much to have Ray around because of how he felt about the land, how gentle he is, how respectful he is, how much he loves Jock and her. He could have been the pseudo Gary until the real Gary showed up, and that doused all her plans. But it's something in that moment. She was like, baby boy, I can't let you do that. I am so sorry. I can't let you do that. I don't want you to leave. And you're certainly not about to give up any inheritance. This is yours fair and square. And it's ironic that he's just done the most un-Ewing thing ever. And she goes, but you are a Ewing. Reaches in for the hug. In my mind and in her eyes, to me, she's like, okay, you'll do. I'm not going to get the other one back like that. But yeah, I kind of need to see you around. I can live with that. This is a kid that both she and Jock love. He damn sure respects Ray way more than he ever did Gary. So for this, she can bury the hatchet. She admits that the swamp was just that. She didn't really give a damn about the swamp. She just wanted to watch him suffer a little bit. And good for her. I think we're going to leave it there for now. But yeah, Barbara Bel Geddes is a force. She is so enjoyable in these bigger moments. Y'all know I love it when they put older people front and center. I think it's very important to show that. And plus, you're getting a whole different level of everything. It's a different kind of love. They've been through so much. It's a different kind of hate. It's a different kind of I will destroy you. I have lived my whole life to be with you, and you're playing in my face. I could absolutely end everything you love too. You want to take away my son? You want to make this so unbearable that my favorite child ran away? I'm going to make sure you lose everything you love too. Fantastic. But then watching her sort of release the anger and accept Ray as a Ewing, and I think in my heart she sees him more as one of her people. Alright guys, join me next time as we jump into another iconic episode of Primetime Vintage Debauchery. In the meantime, in between time, print a map, sort things out, bring juice, bring snacks. Sometimes you gotta treat your parents like kindergartners and work simple things out. Stay hydrated, stay moisturized, mind your business, and keep all of your drama on TV.